Wait, what? Did Horus just... Okay. What am I doing to him? I'm obviously getting some health back from that, but still, what? There. Oh, for the love... Do you mind? I'm conversing with my chat here, you big hench fucking NFL players. Hairy bastards. The bane of my existence. Bane? Bane? Lots of bears. Oh my god, there's lots of fucking bears. Oh my god, they're going to tear my face and eat my corpse for din-dins. Lots of bears. I don't know how in time this will be for you guys, but it is for me. I'm vibing, fuck it. Lots of bears. Bears, 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 bears. There's bears. Lots of bears. Everywhere. Toner. You see the cat. I've angled my camera slightly differently in hopes that you can see the cat. Hello. Hello. Hello, Mr. Cat. He stand for Vilka Bandler. Oh, nearly. Death by Pingus. Well timed. Well timed. Okay, so now... Sorry, did everyone see that? I don't know if everyone caught that. So basically, when she was going down the slope, and where it was like meeting in the middle between like two like slope points, her body didn't know what to do, so the character was just kind of like... just like flipping out. I'm gonna have to get that clipped. I was just meant to be walking through mud, but it's just like, ah, I'm Godzilla, ah, ah. or in this. I have to say that this Summer Games Fest, this like weekend in general, this period of time, is perhaps one of the best that has been in a very long time since E3, since the E3 of Dreams I think it was 2015, when they had The Last Guardian, Shenmue 3, and Final Fantasy VII Remake announced. There's just been heavy hitters after heavy hitters after heavy hitters, but We'll talk about that all in good time. Remuel, thank you very much for the 26th month on Tier 1. Kezia, thank you for the Prime sub on 4 months. Thank you. And Sazula, bye Sazula. Thank you very much for the 48 months on Tier 1. Holy crap, 4 years! Fucking hell. Time flies, doesn't it? Thank you so much, honestly. Has it really been that long? Apparently so. 4 long whole years you've spent watching this fuzzy-haired idiot, now spectacled fuzzy-haired idiot, talking about video games and yelling at Tomb Raider. So thank you, I do appreciate it. Who we got in the chat? We got Remuel, we got Norsk Chick, hello, ready to talk some Final Fantasy, my fellow nerd. I'm game if you are. Good to see you again, really is. Just turn that down just a smidge. Oh, that's a bit too dark. Oh, go back. Sort the lighting out. There we go. Ruffalo. Ruffalilo, sorry. We're going to talk about that Curtis Easter egg. Oh, don't worry. We're going to be doing a frame-by-frame scrub through the trailer, and then we're going to be watching together a couple of videos I've not actually seen. So I've saved watching those particular ones that got recommended to me to do with Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis until today. So I think it's a very good, exciting, sort of fun activity to do together. Richard Henshingley Croft, thank you very much for joining. And also Dan B. Danny, thank you very much for the 23 months on Tier 1. Much appreciated there, Dan. Bobby Bonev, Bobby Jr. Welcome. Second bout of insanity, hello. Richard Henshingley Croft, hello. Fuchsia Rosa. Very rarely here these days, says Azula. Tuesdays and Thursdays have been quite busy. That's absolutely fine. I mean, I am here no matter what, so you can feel free to just dip in and out at your own convenience. Hello, cats. Sorry, the cat's about to jump. Whoa, hello. Hello. Sorry, I wasn't quite ready for you, mate. Hello. Hello, puss boy. I take it both cats are in now, then. But welcome. No, it's good to just be here whenever you can make it. No obligation, just whenever you can stop by and say hi and support, that'd be grand. Second, Slightly Serious Sam, welcome. Jurassic Jam. Divo Maria. Some names, by the way, I'm reading out will be on YouTube or Twitch. So if you can't see those people in the chat, that is why I'm broadcasting to both places tonight, as per usual. Cheers. Hello, cat. Ian A. Graham, hello. Nice mug. Thank you very much. I believe that's almost a year. Yeah, I can't believe it either, mate. Thank you. Sorry, I'm entertaining the cat as well. Hello, Venen22, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider. Next year is going to be lit and expensive. And expensive. Yes, so I think I'm up to date with everybody. Lino Cyborg, welcome. Marista Zamba, hello. Apollo Technologies, hello to you as well. I've been seeing your posts on the socials as well. It's very cool to see people posting actively about these games. Many exciting announcements. Yes. Tiny Lily, hello. Zero Connection, hello. Steve Hall, my Tomb Raider sensei, hello. Senpai has noticed you. Little Callisto, welcome. I'll be a puddle at the thought of early access. I mean, that'd be great. Moomba SP, welcome. So, without further ado, I feel like we should cut down the funky Persona music. I've got a whole bunch of trailers lined up and some notes made. So I figured let's dive headfirst into this, this little reanalysis of what the heck has been going on the last week. Oh god. There we go. As you can see, I'm very excited for Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which we'll talk about later. The key art looks beautiful. I'm very much hyped for that particular game. But first, before we talk about anything to do with Final Fantasy, we must, of course, talk about Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. And before Summer Games Fest, there was a state of play that occurred. And during the state of play, this is when we got another look at Legacy of Atlantis through another trailer, which gave us a release date. And much to everyone's chagrin and rumours and speculation and projections and speculation, it didn't end up indeed being true that the game was delayed by a year, which is absolutely fine. I was kind of expecting it to be, because it was almost kind of like a bit too good to be true that it was coming out this year. I think there was so much going on in the industry releasing this year that I think that Legacy of Atlantis was a good idea to give it the extra time and polish that it needed to just push everything back next year. And, of course, because of that, Catalyst, of course, is not going to be releasing in 2027 either. I fully expect that to be pushed back by maybe 2 years at most. Just because I think having two AAA high-profile Tomb Raider games releasing in the same year would be amazing from a fan's point of view, but from a financial point of view, I don't think that would be the way that we'd do it, personally, from a business perspective. But this is the trailer that they showed. Hopefully, it'll be stunning 4K quality for, well, which you won't be able to tell anyway, but it'll be the best quality. And what we'll do is we'll give it a watch through, and we'll go through and we'll just kind of scrub through and just pause at various moments and just analyze the shit out of this. So let's go. Let me know if I need to turn it up.
Looking for you. Hard woman to track down.
That trailer does not look like 4K quality. There we go.
Well, you found me.
Ms. Croft, I hear when it comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire. This isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. This is a puzzle, buried in centuries of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it. There's a reason I can only trust you with this.
Gotta say, you captured your good side.
You're assuming I've got a bad side.
Fucking yes. Yes, 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 yes. Give me all of that. Give me all of that. And pre-order now for your Survivor era outfit bonus. So, a lot to talk about here. We'll start from the very beginning, and we'll kind of go ahead and pause, but... Oh, thank you for the gift subs there, Moomba. 5 gift sub-aroonies there. Thank you very much there, Moomba. Much appreciated. That's like 5 gift memberships there on YouTube. Thank you. Oh, where do I begin? So, just from initial vibes after rewatching it just now quickly, I still have a lot of excitement and a lot of positivity towards what I'm seeing. I don't really have much negative to pick out just yet, but I'm sure, like, when we get revealed more gameplay, rather than cinematic gameplay, in-engine stuff, that might change a little bit. But so far, at least aesthetic-wise, this thing just looks absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So this is obviously the Lost Valley. And whilst I'm here, let me just... Can I capture mouse cursor? Yes, I can. So can you see my mouse cursor now? Yeah, there we go. So this little area here is where the cogs that initially were put on a wall somewhere behind this waterfall in the original and the anniversary versions will be. We'll see later in the trailer that this is how it's used to basically open up the way to the Tomb of Qualopec. And obviously we got the bondage rope arrow points, which will be obviously used with her lasso or grapple or whatever it is that she's going to be using this time around to make that move. But we'll see that in a bit more. It just looks fucking gorgeous, man. And that voice, by the way, that we're hearing, that's Larson. We'll get to talk about Larson later in his new appearance.
Looking for you.
But Jesus, this looks good, man. I love the fact that, like, it's taking notes from the original game, but it's obviously not afraid to pepper its own influence in there too, like with the decorations and the design and the overall aesthetique of everything, like with all these plants and vegetation, and having a massive freaking hole in the back behind the Sphinx as well. Just looks awe-inspiring, and I think, like, in a lot of ways, I think that's what this game needs to nail. It needs to kind of make going through to these different environments like awe-inspiring again. I think it's actually nailing that so far. It seems to be. Yeah, we'll talk about who I think is voicing Natla later, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did get her. First new outfit confirmed. This is the new fit. So instead of having a poncho and her OG outfit underneath that she whips out, this is going to be her starting outfit. Far more appropriate attire for traveling across the Andes. Yes, and I want to put it on record now. I keep getting comments about this, and yes, you're right. I did, in my first Tomb Raider retrospective, say the Himalayas in my joke about getting cold and not wearing, like, the right type of attire. It is the Andes. I'm an idiot. So there we go. Just kind of course correcting my own ineptitude there. But yeah, cool outfit. Still got the backpack on the back there. Got the double pistols holstered, ready to go. It's not a fucking tribal outfit. That's great in my book.
Hard woman to track down.
We got the Peruvian guide there. I presume this is all like taking place at the same continent as the original. Just fucking like shoves that guy out of the way to keep him safe. And I did see some people making a comment online, because I do sort of like flitter in and out of like what people say online about like these trailers and stuff. And one person I think said like she's supposed to be an anti-hero. She wouldn't go out of her way to save this random Gurkha that's or guide, I should say, in order, like, before saving herself. And I'm thinking to myself, literally in the first cutscene you see of, like, one of the first cutscenes you see when you start Tomb Raider 1, you see her dropping everything, including her own, like, thermal covering, in order to bust out some guns and try and save him. So it's not outside of what happens entirely. So obviously set pieces are still a go with this. There are going to be some Survivor-esque set pieces, which is fine, as long as they're used sparingly. I think it'd be silly for us not to expect anything like that. Do you know what I mean? As much as some people just want a true return to form, as in like the old way of doing things, I think not having this type of spectacle would be just a bit silly to not expect. And then whip. She has a Spidey grapple.
Well, you found me.
Yeah, and this is clearly in the cafe they meet at the beginning. Larson in the foreground of shot there. You can still be an anti-hero and save people. That's what kind of like the hero part of anti-hero is. First Peruvian caves level. My hunch is that this area here is going to be where they're going to teach you how to use your grapple hook. Like you're gonna start from this point down here, and then you're gonna basically just jump towards this part here, use your grapple to get up here, and then the same with this one. Perhaps. I could be completely wrong. You might end up doing something completely different. Like these ledges down here, you might end up jumping down towards, you might climb down this bit here and work your way around. Just from the way they've framed everything up here to get to here, it does seem like this is like the first area where they will teach you how to use the swinging mechanic in this game.
Ms. Croft.
Oh, and this particular moment, they know what they're doing for the fans. They know what they're doing with this particular scene here by including this. Like, Underworld who? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the exact thing that people have been screaming for years to be included back in the series, like in the modern iteration of the character. And it's been sorely, in my eyes, it's been sorely missing for many, many years. Thank you very much for the follow there, Lisa. And now it seems to be back, and this is like a big kind of like dick swinging move to say, oh, you want acrobatics? Here's your acrobatics, motherfucker.
I hear when it comes.
Especially that. It's exactly the same fucking animation as Underworld, I swear to God.
To retrieval, you're the one to hire.
Yeah, the lighting, the mood, the atmosphere is cool here. Bears! It's not over! Until I say it's over. And this made me giddy. This particular unnecessary combat maneuver, but totally necessary for Lara Croft. Like, this is the exact same, this is the exact shit that I've wanted from Tomb Raider for fucking years back in the series. Acrobatics like this, because that's what she does. She doesn't keep herself planted behind cover. She throws herself around exactly like her ballet teacher would have taught her way back when. Her gymnastics teacher. And then obviously we got a slight glimpse into how the dual wielding firing is going to work. And it seems like it's, instead of it two at a time, she does seem to be kind of like alternating a little bit Wild West style, like how you see in gunslinging movies and stuff, where they kind of like aim with one, shoot, aim with one and shoot. John Woo, they do the same thing there too, to a degree. John Woo films. This has got to be Egypt again. What's the betting that this is the start of Egypt? After you drop off the motorcycle in the original, and you sort of lower yourself in. Do I reckon this is Egypt? I think it's color palette wise and lighting. It looks exactly the same as the Egypt shot later. I do hope it does mean that we will get individual aiming. I agree with you, like in Underworld, but better utilized than Underworld. Underworld's, I think, the potential was there in Underworld to have dynamic aiming with individual limbs, but it just wasn't fully realized enough.
Isn't about glory or.
This fucking shot, man. This is cool. This is really cool. I like the light beaming down onto the chest of, I presume that's Horus there. And you got another bird boy over there. And no doubt this will be in a room where we will have to work out how to climb to the top, and then these will move up and down like on a weighted system, and we're going to have to basically either stand on them to drop them to a certain point, or weigh them down with another object, like a crate, or not a crate, like a bit of rubble, big old stone. And they got like their own individual pedestal, like symbols on here. You got a sun one, and you got like a moon one, I believe, on the right there. Very cool.
Money or making the world a better place.
It's another fucking light puzzle, chat. Do you know how much I love light puzzles, chat? Does anyone remember how much fun we had with the light puzzle, chat, in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, chat? The best puzzle ever. Yeah. Yeah, no, these are back too. oh boy, this really caters to every part of my personality, doesn't it? So obviously this is Egypt. And at some point in Egypt, don't know when this will be, or what point further on from the first starting area this will be, but there's obviously a bit of water there on the left. I presume it'll maybe be like in the areas that they had in the original Egypt where you would have like a multi-tiered structure where you would have to move blocks around in order to climb to the top and maneuver stuff. Maybe they've kind of like expanded that particular concept of a room out to include stuff like this. Who knows? Nice match cut.
This is a puzzle.
Very on the nose to have not Sarah Michelle Gellar, or possibly Sarah Michelle Gellar Natler there, saying this is a puzzle. Because Tomb Raider games should be the puzzle. All of it, you know, not just action. It should all be puzzle. Kick.
Buried in centuries of silence.
Yes, so I just missed that. Let me just...
Buried in centuries.
Yeah, so this is where we obviously use our replacement for the rope arrows to maneuver the cogs into place. And it'll be interesting where and how we acquire these cogs, because obviously I don't think we're going to be able to just pick them up and put them in our never-ending backpack of never-ending space. But you can see the kind of like the grapple claw just here and the rope going through to her wrist. I hope there's no bow. I don't think there will be. And if there is a bow, maybe it's a secret item. I don't think it'll be... I think it would be a bit silly for them to bring it back, because I think it would kind of tie it too much to that era of the series too much. She's supposed to be a much more fully formed character at this point, to a point where she's got gadgets and someone making gadgets for her. Hello, Zip. So I don't think bow and arrow necessarily would be where she would keep going at this point.
Of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a lot.
Very cool with the door design here. Obviously the entrance to the tomb of Qualopec. Very cool design. And you can kind of see a little bit of what I think that if I'm not mistaken in saying, on the right is Qualopec. And that's obviously going to be someone bringing the Scion to him. Because that is the Scion, isn't it? It's got to be the Scion. Or the Scion, however you're supposed to say it. Mr. Multiple Legs.
Door without wondering what's behind it.
Can we also remark on this particular character model for Lara as well? Because I feel like, as far as like glow-ups go, and in terms of like recapturing that old, more mature persona that fans have wanted, I think this is far and away possibly the best that they could have gone for. This is like the best case scenario for design-wise, this character. Yeah, I can't fault it. She doesn't have a rat's nest of a hair like she has in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. She has the braid back. She looks older as well, but not. It's just like facial features just look like she should look for a person that age. Or just in general, the character just looks proper in my books. Balanced. Perfectly balanced.
There's a reason.
Aha! Here we go. So, CEO, entrepreneur, born in some time long before Jacqueline Nadler is here. And this is interesting. So this is kind of... It's not Tomb Raider 1 Natla look. It's also not quite Anniversary Natla look either. She doesn't look cartoonishly long-nosed and witch-fingered like she did in Anniversary. She looks like a normal person, but she's got that kind of slicked back ponytail blonde hair, and she looks like Jacqueline Natler. It's like a more modernized version of Jacqueline Natler. I'm kind of a bit disappointed it didn't go with the bob that she had in the original game, but it is what it is. I think she looks fine as a character design-wise in this one. She looks like she's trying to sell me everything. Oh, congratulations to Green Mullet, by the way. Just recently became a dad. Happy congratulations to the both of you and Jen. Hope you're doing okay. 80s blowout phase. Yeah, no, like it's giving me Jen and the Holograms a little bit, especially with the eye makeup. I loved her weird inhuman looking anniversary. Right, I did too. I didn't mind it, but at the same time, like if you had a character that weird looking as a CEO in this universe, it would stand out a bit, wouldn't it? You'd be a bit like, huh. This cartoonishly evil-looking woman that's the head of a mega corporation, do you reckon that she might be evil and secretly a demon? Ooh, I don't know. Let's think about that. Oh. Yes, yes, yes. Very swanky office as well, it has to be said. Very swanky office. Pyramid scheme. Yeah, Natla's pyramid schemes. Yeah, but what do we reckon about the voice? Like, a load of people think it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. And obviously she's been doing the narrating for this last few parts, so I'll just cycle it back a bit and we'll just listen.
This isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. This is a puzzle, buried in centuries of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it. There's a reason I can only trust you with this.
Yeah, it does sound like Buffy, doesn't it? I'm kind of believing it more the more that I listen to it. I'll donate an organ if it's not Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah, I mean, it's not like she's got Buffy to work on anymore, sadly. That sucked that that got cancelled. I mean, I get that. The only issue with Natla is how young she looks. A bit too much like a college girl 10 years after graduation. I want her to be intimidating. Oh, she will turn into intimidating. I don't doubt that. But also, isn't Natla also supposed to be immortal to a point where when she got locked away, she would have been quite young herself? I don't think she aged in her cryotube, did she? And I don't think she ages like a normal person either. I don't know. I'm not up to date with my Natla lore. Oh yeah, Anthony Head. Yeah, ripping. R.I.P. to Giles. That sucked to hear about. Yeah, they have a penchant to hire like some Hollywood names in the series as of late, so I wouldn't be surprised if they got Sarah Michelle Gellar to actually voice Natla for this. Right, so here's an interesting deviation. Human enemies. Human enemies. And if I'm not mistaken, is that an N logo on his arm? Let me just see if I can snipping tool this and blow it up. 2 seconds, chat. See if I can. Let's do this the old-fashioned way. Okay. So if I do this and then, yeah, that looks to me like that's, oh shit. That looks to me like a Natla logo, like the new Natla Technologies logo. Does that not? Because I know that as much as I would love to see the original Natla's Natla Technologies logo back, the GOAT, I wouldn't be surprised if they've kind of reworked. Actually, to be fair, I don't know how well you can see that, chat. Let me just see if I can drop this into, hang on. Let's drop this into Photoshop. 2 seconds. Dr. Neocortex has confirmed the villain. Oh, no, I don't want Trinity to be involved in this. Fuck that. No, nope, 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 nope. And I know that there's a popular fan theory that Natla and the Triumvirate are supposed to be what Trinity actually is. I'm really hoping it's not. I really fucking hope it's not. Hey, cat. Right. So if I just go to that and then I go to new from clipboard, paste it into that. So unfortunately you got the grid here because it's quite zoomed in, but So you know the original Natla's design, Natla Technologies logo. Let me just make another window. Natla Technologies. Images. So we'll bring this up. Open image new tab. Right, let's do that. Let's do that. Copy image and then new clipboard. Yes. So the reason why I'm harping on about the original logo design, because I think they kind of kept part of it, because if you look at these little moons on this orbit circle, you kind of got a little bit of one here that I can see. So I'm wondering, as like this new Natla logo, I'm not a massive fan of it, just if that is the case, but it does kind of look like they've tried to incorporate parts of it into the new design. So the reason why I'm going on about the logo so much, because I think this particular gentleman is going to be a soldier from Natla's own private army. Why she's fighting them in this particular environment, I have no idea, but that's my hunch, is that Natla wants to kill Lara Croft, so she's sending in these people to do the work for her. But also, what's that going to mean for Pierre? Because Pierre, this is Greece, 100% Greece. You got, is it Perseus that kills Medusa? I really don't remember who it is in mythology. Hey, Twin Pistols. But that's the Medusa head there. So maybe these are soldiers working with Pierre whilst he does his work? Like his entourage, maybe? And they're scattered out different parts here? But this is just weird to see. It's weird to see human enemies in a game that's predominantly focused with animals and like isolation, and the occasional human enemy would show up, like Pierre and Larson and everyone else in the Lost Island, whatever it's called at the end. Could still bump into him. Yeah, that's true. Wearing Tomb Raider 3 camo trousers, that's true. Maybe that's where she gets her fit from. But yeah, a bunch of flares, I want to say, or shotgun shells. Probably shotgun shells. But yeah, it's interesting to see human enemies turn up. And this is obviously a takedown move. Oh, there's a better look at the end. Yeah, no, that's 100% a Natla Technology soldier. And then, Mr. T-Rex. In an admittedly very Uncharted-looking sequence, but I'm hoping, as cool as this all is, that it isn't just spectacle fighting the T-Rex, and you actually get to fight it, like you would do a regular enemy. Tomb of Qualopec, I think. This is... Yes, 100%. Yep, so this, to me, I don't know how much of this particular design of Qualopec is down to Anniversary's version, or any elements that were taken from Core Design's one, because I'm pretty sure Core Design 1 was just a dude in a chair that was just dead, whereas the Anniversary version of Qualopec had these, like, arm tendrils that sticking out of the back of him. That's a good point. He hasn't got the Scion on a pedestal. He's holding onto it. Interesting find. But yeah, this is cool, man. I like the set dressing. The environmental design of this particular area is cool. Yeah, the infamous T-Rex that made us shit our pants as a kid. I hope we fight it like a souped up regular enemy rather than just through a quick time event. Do you know what I mean? Yes, that's true. In the flashback, he did have that design in the original too. Yeah, admittedly more... He looked more like a technomancer than he did like an actual biological being with those legs. They weren't necessarily... I wouldn't have treated it as a part of him naturally, just something that was augmented on top of him with machinery. With technology. And we have got panthers. It is panthers, isn't it? Wow! Oh. That just froze there. Let's take it back a sec. Again, another... That's Greece, that's going to be. A really cool underwater shot there. Showing that swimming is definitely here to stay from Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Did I notice the statues in Qualipec's room? Qualipec's tomb? Yeah, the ones either side. The big stone statues. Was there anything else worth noting about them? Yeah, these ones here, that one there and that one there. Because in the original we had two mummies, didn't you, that were next to them, and then one of them would come to life when you remove the Scion. No mummies, no. But still something else could happen. 100%. This fucking shot here. Holy crap, this looks amazing. And I have to click for emphasis. Because this is insane. Look how vast this looks and expansive. This is absolutely nuts. You've got stuff going on up there, you've got stuff going on up there, and I only presume that we're going to eventually be able to go up and explore this shit. But this is incredible looking. This is just nuts. Like, this is definitely a shot that shows that the scope of this particular version of this adventure is vastly expanded beyond, like, anniversaries for output. But it's just mad how good this looks. It's fully going to be, like... Actually going to save that screenshot quick. I want that as a fucking wallpaper. It's so good. I remember seeing this particular moment for the first time in the trailer when I watched it live, and I was just like, that was a standout moment. Just that shot was just awe-inspiring, man. And I don't think it will all be set dressing. I think you will be able to just jump into that water, rock up onto these like bits of land here, and then just navigate your way, possibly up these ledges here, across here, or whatever. But obviously you're going to be jumping to this part here and continuing. The grapple will be involved as a last minute. Yeah, photo mode's going to be a must. If Shadow of the Tomb Raider's photo mode was so popular, I would be very surprised if they didn't include it in this. Palace Midas. The new Palace Midas. And this will be interesting considering, have you seen how high you've got to climb? Or going to have to climb, potentially, in order to... Oh, no, wait, hang on. There's his hand there. The broken hand's just down here. Yeah, no, sorry, I've just noticed it. That's cool. I was going to say, you have to climb up there to get the gold bars done? No, it's just down here, dummy. It's just down here. But how fucking cool is this? I'm really hoping with Palace Midas, right, it's not the same story as it was with Anniversary. I'm really hoping that it will be a case of that they learn from the criticisms that people had with Palace Midas and just, like, they don't lose what made the original concept of that level so unique in this particular version. I think it will be expansive. I think it will, 100%. What do we reckon? Do we reckon this is kind of like the end of the Lost Valley area? Or is this... Oh, no, this will be the escape from the Tomb of Qualipec. I guarantee this will be, like, this moment here will be from the escape of Tomb of Qualipec once you take the Scion and book it out of there, because everything starts collapsing in the original game, doesn't it? Briefly can see pre-designated anchor points for your grapple. No doubt. I really also hope that there's no survivor vision, so you get stuff like that highlighted for you. I think there might be still, but I'm hoping at least it's an option that you can turn off. Looks like Peruvian architecture on the left. Yeah, yeah. Can't wait to see how vile Atlantis looks. I'm glad they aren't spawning it for people who've never played. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm really, really hyped for what they're going to do. This motherfucker right here. This Trader Joe's bloody Dickies shirt wearing lumberjack motherfucker. Larson Conway, ladies and gentlemen. Rocking a pack of Marlboro Red smokes there. A magazine which is full of Easter eggs we'll pick apart in a second. And that big old beard. That big old grizzly. The big old grizzly beard and aviator shades and tattoo, weirdly enough, on his arm there. Trying to work out what that tattoo actually is. Hang on, let me just see if I can get a clearer picture. Oh god, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Hang on, hang on. Hang on, chat. Hang on. I think I know what this is. It's a fucking Texas Ranger, like, sheriff badge. 100%, I guarantee it's a variation on that. So here we go. So we got that there, and let me just snippety snip on this one. And then copy that. New clipboard, yes. Enhance, enhance. Yeah, that's a fucking... He's either a military vet or he's like, he was in the force or something at one point. Because that's either it's either going to be a bloody car tire or that's going to be some kind of, hang on. It's going to be some form of this. I guarantee he was a fucking ranger at one point. He's a disenfranchised Texas Ranger that ended up giving up his badge and then turning to a life of profitable tomb raiding for a price. Yeah, no, that tracks, considering the accent that he's got as well. I'll heel and hide you to a barn door yet. That sort of thing. It's always like Southern American. Oh. I've just noticed something else. I don't think other people may have picked up on this. I don't know, could be wrong. Let me just do that, copy, and then Photoshop's great in it. Does anyone remember that logo? Yeah. Did someone point this out already? Because that's 100% RX Tech related. It's on Lara's Antarctica jacket. Yeah, 100%. So for people who don't necessarily know, Tomb Raider 3 Antarctica jacket. So logo. Yeah, so you can just about see it from here. Let me just put that there. Yeah, that is one. I know it's like a fan render, but it's the same damn outfit. It's the same damn outfit. That's cool. So that magazine's just absolutely littered with Easter eggs. Yo, Chemic, thank you very much there for the sub. 41 months on the trot, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. So here we go. He's got the magazine. He's got 2 pistols. He's got 2 pistol holsters.
Gotta say.
Someone also pointed out to me that he kind of looks like... Hang on. Someone also pointed out to me... Has anyone here seen the film The Big Lebowski, by the way? Fucking dude looks like this guy. Hang on. Open image in new tab. Oh, fuck. No. Ah! There we go. Looks like John Goodman from The Big Lebowski, but just with a bit of a bigger beard and obviously younger. Oh, I fucking love it.
I gotta say, you captured your good side.
And here we go. Here we go. So, Tomb Raider Easter eggs. For those of you who may not have noticed, I think a lot of you in the chat have already picked up on this and have probably posted about this, but for those of you who may be watching this with me for the first time, Carter Bell, side character from a Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, I want to say. I forget which one it is. It's the one with the 4-player co-op in it. Fact or fiction? So it's a character there. Curtis Trent versus the unknown, whatever the unknown is. So he's been name dropped as well. Interesting. Whatever the unknown is, could be vaguely interpreted as the Lux Veritatis or stuff to do with Eckhart. And here's another one. The Cost of Courage, Dr. Whitman's Legacy Beyond the Camera. So this is obviously some, like, propaganda fluff piece to do with Stupid Sexy Flanders at the end of Tomb Raider 2013, where obviously his reputation wasn't as tarnished as we thought it was going to be at the end of that after it was brutally murdered by the Storm Guard. So, yeah, it seems like the truth about his cowardice didn't make it. Either that or Lara didn't choose to correct them on it. Probably wasn't worth the time. And then Lara Croft in Bigfoot Country. Did Lara come face to face with another legend? Ooh. Not quite the Lara stamps out Bigfoot one that we had in the original, but still quite cool. Sorry, I had a article about Curtis. A previous hire has been able to or willing to perform the task set for him. A previous hire wasn't able to willing to perform the task set for him. What's that in reference to? I spent so much time in the photo mode in Angel of Darkness Remastered taking Curtis pictures. Fair enough. My father's got Whitman good for that. Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely did. Fucking cool little Easter egg there.
You're assuming I've got a bad side.
What do we reckon this location is? I think I saw people saying that this could be St. Francis's Folly, just due to the architecture here. And I wouldn't be inclined to disagree. I think this potentially could be. Or it could be the opening area to Greece. It might not necessarily be St. Francis Folly. And the reason why I say that is this door here. Remember how the very first level of Greece begins? It begins with a little segmented corridor here with some pillars either side and a one door to the Folly giving you entrance. And then you go out into a bigger area. In Anniversary, this is where you find Pierre. Also in the original, this is where you see Pierre. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is potentially the bit where Pierre's doing the whole kind of like projecting his voice to confuse Lara moment from Anniversary. If you don't necessarily remember what I mean by that, let me just bring up the scene in question that I think it might be, just to back up my points. Tomb Raider Anniversary. HD Greece, no commentary.
New evidence that leads me to believe it is. But you seated everything she does.
Yeah, I think it's a variation of this.
Are not trusted,
I trust my instincts.
and that is why you must complex.
Yeah, I 100% think we're going to get a version of this in this game, and that's what this moment is from. This is not from the iconic multi-layered like Tetris room that everyone loves from that level. This will be from the intro where Pierre's wandering around doing French things and whispering sweet nothings to her so she doesn't know where he is. But you can see the star puzzle in the background, can you? Yeah, so they might do the constellation puzzle as well. Yeah, no, I'd imagine like Pierre's just probably going ho 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 and just like sorry, it's just basically skulking around this particular building. And this also does look like the room where we saw that Natla Technologies grunt come in and attack her. So I'm wondering, because obviously they can't do it so you shoot the shit out of Pierre and he just runs away. That just isn't realistic enough for what they're going for. So my guess is going to be, if we just cycle back to where that was, about here. So my hunch is that Pierre, instead of fighting him fighting you himself. He's going to have these guys at his disposal, and then you're going to have to clear a wave of them. And this will be kind of like your introduction to sort of like the combat with human enemies a bit more. I think they won't do it in the first area. I think they'll do it in Greece, and that's the way that they can introduce an escalating conflict to Lara and more of the combat to the player as they're going through. But I think that, like, literally Pierre will be the leader of this team. He's not going in by himself, and I think Pierre will bugger off, and whilst he's buggering off and getting a head start, these guys will be sent in to hold her up, and she will kill them, and then she will proceed. That's my hunch. Yeah. I don't think Larson will as well. I think Larson will ambush you at the end like he did in the original. A little bit like Rutland, yeah. Wouldn't make sense for humans to be in Greece as Natla sent her there. Right? No. No, Natla didn't send Lara to Greece, if you remember. Lara went to Greece of her own volition because Larson went to kill Natla, Lara, at the end of Peru. And then she broke into her office, stole the diary of the Pope Benedict, or whatever the fuck his name is, and that's when she got the hint that that's where she sent someone else to look, and that's where she's going. So she didn't get sent there because of Natla. She got sent there because she sent herself there, basically. Yeah, she sent herself to her room to think about what she did. Probably a full cutscene with Pierre after she takes down his crew. Quite possibly, yeah. She could ambush the whole team that are there. Because it almost... hang on. I've just noticed something. It looks like on the right here, that it looks like they're trying to break through this particular wall. Does it not? That's a hole in the wall. So it almost looks like, to me, they've got all this gear and stuff set up to break through what they think is the entrance to, like, the main folly of St. Francis. Possibly. Don't know. Isn't speculating fun? Is that not the thing you shoot? A bit up there as well. Could be. I'm hoping we get Croft Manor as well. That would be awesome. I really hope they still make that a thing. Got to have Croft Manor. Right. But yes, this, with a date of February next year... February 12th. February is going to be a stacked month. Like, holy shit, it's going to be full of so much stuff. And then you got the deluxe edition and the collector's edition. And the deluxe edition, it comes with a couple other things, but mainly importantly, it comes with the Parisian ghetto outfit, the double denim, the Canadian tux outfit that she wears in the Angel of Darkness, which looks weird a little bit with the pistol holsters. Let me just... Tomb Raider Atlantis Deluxe Edition. Thank you very much there for the Prime sub there, Vanilla. So let me just... I know my spelling was terrible, but I needed to get this image out. So we open the image in a new tab. There we go, bosh. So yeah, with the pre-order bonus, you get the early unlock for the Survivor outfit, which makes me think and believe that oh, they're both early unlock. So yeah, you'll just get early access to these outfits. Multiple outfits confirmed for realsies. And also don't forget to claim your free Underworld wetsuit costume for this game as well via Amazon. This interests me. So we've got obviously the digital deluxe content, full game download, but post-launch DLC story pack. Does that mean that we're going to get unfinished business stuff? That to me seems likely, because I don't know what else they could do without it deviating wildly from what the original game depicted and told. It does seem like the gold edition stuff and, you know, unfinished business is going to be what they might include. But that's interesting. But yeah, double denim with the backpack and the holsters like this. It's weird seeing it. Kind of cool though. Kind of cool. Right, okay, so we've moved on from this particular one. We're now going to move on to the Legacy of Atlantis deep dive, which I've not seen. So from this point onwards, the next two things we're going to be watching are things that I have not watched, so we're going to watch them together for the first time. So let's do that.
Hard woman to track down.
Well, you found me.
Hi, I'm Hao Cicada, game director at Crystal Dynamics. Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis is a stunning reimagining of Lara Croft's debut adventure. We've taken the legendary 1996 game and completely reimagined it from the ground up, with jaw-dropping visuals, modern gameplay, and a few new surprises. All while honoring the spirit of the original. Players will explore these extraordinarily dangerous worlds that have been lost to time. We're talking jungles of Peru, crumbling ruins of Greece, and the deserts of Egypt. Every location is packed with ancient artifacts and hidden secrets. Whether you are a longtime fan or someone picking up a Tomb Raider game for the
Notice they didn't mention Atlantis in that particular rundown, probably intentionally.
very first time, this is the definitive way to experience the adventure that started it all. Tomb Raider pioneered 3D exploration back in 1996. With Legacy of Atlantis, we really wanted Lara's traversal to feel distinctively hers. It's precise, it's athletic, and deeply connected to the environments she's exploring. This is Lara at the top of her game. She's come through the Survivor era, emerged as a confident, accomplished adventurer, and you will see that in how she moves. The swan dives, the handstands, the acrobatic flourishes, they're all expressions of her character, and it's a lot of fun to watch it, but it's even more fun to play.
Well, about fucking time that you guys have realised that that's the case and what we like about the character. Nice to know that we're all on the same page finally, eh?
It's important for us to distinguish that this isn't a remake. A remake rebuilds what already exists with modern technology. Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis goes further than that and truly reimagines the debut game, all while keeping its soul intact. Environments are larger, iconic moments like Lara's battle against the T-Rex are transformed into epic gameplay encounters on a cinematic scale. The puzzles in Legacy of Atlantis are really satisfying. You're manipulating water flow, redirecting light beams, you're activating pressure plates, deciphering ancient symbols, all of it to unseal secrets that have been locked away for centuries. Every solution requires you to piece together what you've uncovered and think creatively in how to do it. And then obviously there's combat, which you've got Lara's iconic dual pistols, plus some other weapons that you can unlock along the way.
Yeah, we still haven't found out whether or not this is their version of the adrenaline dodge from Anniversary or not.
This is the legendary adventure fans remember, reimagined in ways that weren't possible 30 years ago, with some new surprises. Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis launches on February 12, 2027. It comes out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and Nintendo Switch 2. You can pre-order the game now. From the bottom of my heart and the rest of the development team, we cannot wait for everyone to experience this. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to experience it myself, mate.
Some legends are destined to be retold.
Yeah, man. So it seems like everyone's on board with this. Good. Took you long enough, but now we can move on from that, and we can move on to this behind-the-scenes video from IGN Live, which I didn't watch, but this is going to... you can see a lot of the new voice actor for Lara Croft in this.
Lara is unstoppable,
unyielding,
unshaken,
unwavering,
relentless,
fierce, brave.
Right, before I want to get this clear, does anyone here remember us playing Tomb Raider War of the Worlds like a few years ago? Yeah. You're looking at the man who spent 10 years creating that. He is now on the dev team for this particular game, and I believe he's a level designer, if I'm not mistaken. So fucking cool. I can't believe how this has panned out for him. This is amazing. There's also another builder who I don't think I've experienced their work yet, but someone else pointed out to me that they're not shown in this, but they're also a part of the team. Yeah, so happy for this guy. This Polish-looking Nobuo Uematsu-looking dude. Well done, man.
Heroine, flexible, athlete, explorer, adventure,
adventure,
Adventure.
adventurer,
legend,
Badass.
Badass.
badass,
icon, iconic, iconic.
Unapologetic. That's the word. She's unapologetic.
Yes!
I think that my Lara gets to be unapologetic because of all of the versions of Lara that...
Just pausing it for a second. I'll move myself out the way. Simply because... I'll move myself out the way. And then flip. There we go. Because otherwise you won't see the names that come up, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, first look at the new Scion.
Have come before that have led up to this moment in time with Legacy of Atlantis and then Catalyst. Hi guys, I'm Alex Fulton Regan. I'm playing Lara Croft in Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and Tomb Raider Catalyst.
Lara Croft is somebody who could live a life of luxury if she decided to, but she has instead dedicated herself to finding truth. And as a result, she marshals those resources to do things that, you know, you and I probably wouldn't have the ability to do, like fling herself into far-off locations to find things that the world doesn't believe to exist. But at the core of it, she's an adventurer.
She is elegant, strong, confident. She walks into a room knowing that she has a right to be there.
There's that foundation of what makes Lara.
Megan Marie, haven't seen her in a while.
You know, it's the passion for uncovering the unknown and just the sense of wonder and discovery and thirst for adventure and like that nerdiness about culture and archaeology.
Lara is a living, breathing woman. She has a very tragic past with lots of privilege, yes, but there's lots of tragedy and trauma there as well. She is very, very strong. She is very, very capable.
Now, in Legacy of Atlantis, you get to see a fully formed Lara. She has become the Tomb Raider.
Even like her quippiness, which maybe at first in the reboot trilogy, you didn't see that as much, right? But you did see her go from, I'm not that kind of Croft, to you don't know how far I've come within one game to the next.
There is no insecurity. Now, she may at times question herself, but that's very different to feeling insecure. So I really wanted to bring that confidence to Lara.
Do gotta love, sorry, when the actors have to play pretend with these props and stuff. It always just makes me chuckle because they do look like they're wielding Nerf guns a little bit.
To Lara. Her intellect, she's incredibly smart.
Look at this book. Look at the size of that book. And the dude is off to the left. He's just like, please, Miss Allison, I have this book for you to read. What does it actually say on the back there? A collection of 180 recipes, something, Los Angeles Garden, Fridays from the Garden. I'm trying to decipher a book that's used as a prop that has no significance, sorry.
Toby Gard was the one who actually was ahead of his times. And he knew that female players, they are there. And they want to identify themselves with powerful, strong females.
Interesting that they've name dropped Toby in that. That's cool. I mean, I'd like, obviously, if the rest of the team were acknowledged as well, not just Toby, but still the fact that Toby Gard's still getting like a mention with this team kind of goes to show that there are people on the actual project that know their shit.
Why not make an awesome, determined, and powerful archaeologist a female? She was the first, actually. She was exceptional.
Legacy of Atlantis was our ambition to remake the very first Tomb Raider. And we wanted players to have a way back into, especially players who weren't there for the originals. We wanted it to be a treasure box so that when fans got the product, they felt like it's what they've been waiting for, and it celebrates them and their fandom and love of the Tomb Raider franchise.
So when it comes to Lara specifically, our franchise art director, Brennick Adams, and our franchise character modeler, Cam Yu, were basically the ground zero when it came to this new version of Lara. Nobody knows this character more than they do.
We just kind of let her breathe for a while in the engine and in cutscenes and cinematics and combat. And then we just make iterations kind of as we go until we get to a point where enough people are like, that's it. That's her. That's Lara. And that's when the magic happens.
Casting someone to be Lara Croft is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
It is the voice of a character that represents a generation. It has been portrayed by incredible women over the years. There is a lot about Lara, a lot about Tomb Raider that isn't overtly explicit. So finding a new voice for new games is something that took a lot of time.
I can imagine it
Ultimately,
fucking did. Like the amount of time that these people probably took to to vet and pick the right voice, and not only just the right voice, but the person that would inhabit the role the best. Probably must have taken them a very long time, considering like what they had before. Yeah, man, I wouldn't want to. I don't envy the position that they were in, but I think so far it seems like they've made the right choice.
Alex gets it right, just in the nuance of her performance. It's in the microtones. It's in the little nuances of how she says something and gets that personality from Lara that toes that line between being a strong personality but still being very likable.
I couldn't imagine a better person to perform Lara Croft. Like, extremely intelligent and witty and smart. And she has this charisma of Lara Croft, and she's straightforward.
We're blessed to have her.
She nails it.
I'm just going to call it now. She is going to be one of the Laras for Legend. Like, she will become one of the greats in the line of Laras.
What does that mean? One of the Laras in the Legend. Like, dude, it should be the same character. It should be like, I know what they're trying to say is like, they're people going to really enjoy this iteration of Lara, but it's such a weird way of saying it.
There's been a large number of fans that like
Society of Raiders logo on the hilt of the guns.
Like the old school Lara, that like the old school Tomb Raider games, that even though they played the Survivor, they were like, hey, we are kind of missing a couple of things from the other games.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool now that we have all of these tools, now that we have a lot more understanding of how to make games for a newer...
Okay, so we're now going to pause a little bit and just sort of... This probably, to me, looks like it's the intro where Larson shows up.
Generation. If we took a look at the older games and see...
Okay, so this is where people have been... I know this particular screenshot's been doing the rounds online. Because you can kind of see... You can kind of see on the right here, you've got campaign widget, which is obviously in the UI of whatever software that they're using to make this particular game. But we got Peru, we've got Greece, we've got Egypt, and that says Lost Islands. I can just about make that out. And then something which I think some people have said is unfinished business. Because of the way the blobs are structured, it kind of looks like it would read out to be the words unfinished business. I don't know what else it could be other than that. But it's all very blurred.
older games and see, like, do they still make sense?
And there's another bit of Egypt here.
It makes sense for us to take a stab at reimagining them, preserving what was good about the original game, but kind of looking at through the same lenses from what we learned from, like, the Survivor trilogy.
Right, so I'm just gonna dart back and forth just a little bit here, just so I can just frame scrub through this flyby of an Egypt area. And yeah, man, it looks really cool. Like the openness of this. Got the cat statues as well, of course. Yeah, Lost Island is what they called it in Anniversary, for sure. I think they'll take elements from Anniversary. I think they're like going to cherry pick stuff, for sure. And also, Lost Island ain't too bad of a name for it, I think. They'll probably obviously call it Atlantis eventually. But the whole group of levels, you can just call that Lost Island, because it all takes place on an island that's lost. Big valley here. There's a lot more open airspace than I was expecting. I mean, we had some in Anniversary and the original, sure, but there's a lot in this. And that's when it cuts off. Dude, I don't know. I mean, what... It kind of, like, makes me wonder how vast this particular game's going to be. It looks amazing, but also, like... when they're saying they're expanding upon this particular version of the game, this story, they really are seeming to be expanding upon pretty much everything in this game.
Imagining them, preserving what was good about the original game, but kind of looking at through the same lenses from what we learned from, like, the Survivor trilogy.
We've spent a lot of time reading comments and reviews for almost every Tomb Raider game, to be honest, because we wanted to make...
And hopefully watching reviews as well, right? Hopefully.
Sure that we're making the game for the fans, and we couldn't do that without knowing what they need, what they like, what they loved the most about all of the previous games.
It became clear that everything is actually a much more exciting jumping on point if people have a chance to go.
Yeah, someone in the chat earlier asked if those those glasses have lenses? I want to say yes, but I can't be sure.
Back and play the adventure that made Lara famous in the first place. This story deserves to exist because it's going to help create the foundational layer that all of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, no, there's no guarantee they've watched any of my videos to Twin Pistols and Red Bull.
Going forward is going to be built on.
It's a culmination of everybody's passion and 30 years of history. And it's not even the end of the road, you know? She's just getting started.
Lara
I fucking
Croft
hope so.
actually was my first female character that I knew, and I have never thought I could play a female character ever.
I grew up playing all the classic Tomb Raider games, all the way to the Underworld. And I remember getting some of them on my birthday. And later I was like myself going to the shop and just asking my dad, Dad, can I have that?
I've been a fan since I was 12 when the first games came out. And Tomb Raider was the first time that I saw myself reflected. I do have photos of myself when I was like 12 or 13 dressed as her, including one pretending to hang from a chandelier.
Fair enough. Isn't that the outfit from, I want to say Chronicles, but it's probably the London outfit more, isn't it? No, 2001 would be more Angel of Darkness era, wouldn't it?
At the house of the kids I was babysitting. Yeah.
I'm here
Yeah, this dude, legend.
just because of the Tomb Raider. Because when I was the little kid, I get into my hands the Tomb Raider level editor. So the tool that helps you to create your own Tomb Raiders.
Senior fucking level designer. I love seeing it. I love seeing people that are like in the community that are this like fucking talented getting rewarded. It's so fucking like affirming. It's so great.
From that time, I just started to create games. And now I'm here working the Tomb Raider.
Bit of a step up from the level editor, I can imagine.
Original.
Oh. What's going on here? What's going on here? So he's obviously going to be having dipped into oh, this is Unreal. Yeah, this is the Unreal editor. So having dipped into briefly a level editor myself, not necessarily for Unreal, but with the Sirius engine, you can kind of identify various different points where people would walk up to and then they would like trigger certain actions. So this is obviously going to be some kind of speech trigger point where she's going to remark about something. Then they've obviously got other things, like other entities sprawled around here. I think this is like a camera shot entity, I would imagine. I don't know what this house one is. I'm not an expert with Unreal. I'm just sort of, I recognize that this is kind of the way things work with like editors and stuff. And obviously that's a camera motion one too.
Really happens.
Sound trigger.
That you really started to do these Tomb Raiders in your little room, in your house. And now you are working on one, the official one.
Yeah, absolute.
I went to my dad.
Dream come true for this guy. Absolute dream come true.
And I asked him, what do I have to do to be as smart as Lara? And he was like, oh, you must have good grades at school. Okay. So I studied history, art history. I wanted to be as smart as she was. Like, basically, she was a really good role model for me.
Yeah, take notes, Nintendo. This is what you do for fans that are passionate. You don't shut them down with a cease and desist. You then have a dialogue with them to potentially take them on as talent to then make your games better.
I feel a massive sense of responsibility to be stepping into Lara's shoes, to see Lara Croft, Alex Walton Regan on the call sheet every day, you know, with a number 1 beside it. So like 1, Lara Croft, Alex Walton Regan. I mean, it's the biggest thing I've done in my career as an actor. I think for many actors, it would be the biggest thing they ever get to do, you know? Whether it's Crystal...
Oh, hang on. We got bear footage. Oh, no, shit. No! What did I do? I hit the wrong button. Oh, we got an eBay advert. Sorry, chat.
Like your items find...
Shit.
Let her...
There we go. Let's go back to this.
On the call sheet every day. I mean, it's the biggest thing they ever get to do, you know? That's whether it's...
Right, so pay attention to the monitor up there. So loads of people have pointed out that this is kind of just like a little glimpse into the interface. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let me see if I can blow that up for you again in Photoshop. Right, it's new. Let's drag that over there. And then copy, and then Photoshop. New. Paste. Enhance, enhance. So, yeah. So this is kind of like their testing environment, I'd imagine. This is a bear with some really weird looking basic fur. The pistols, yeah, they do look like they have infinite ammo. Interface color-wise, I can't really fault it. It seems to be going with the overall kind of teal-blue gradient aesthetic that they've got with the front cover of this, and also the logo to an extent. But we got the health bar, I can only assume here. There's also there's little nibs here, which I can only assume are for stamina, perhaps for performing certain actions. There's two here next to this. What do we reckon this is? I'll just zoom that in a bit. This to me here looks like a camcorder of some description. Do you remember like in Underworld where she would pull out a video camera and she would start filming stuff? Do you reckon that's like something, that might be something here? Or is it like a remote detonator for an explosive? Or is it like a pair of binoculars? What do we reckon? Might be a focus meter. Yeah, that could be a focus meter for like the adrenaline dodge. Potential adrenaline dodge. A hairdryer. Yeah. No, this is going to be some kind of grenade. I think it's going to be some kind of grenade type situation. Then this is going to be, I don't know what this is, some kind of secondary gadget, but if I just move this over here. Double pistols. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weapon slots by the looks of it. If the wheel is anything to go by, being split up into quarters like that. Infinite ammo. So thank God. Thank God. Ah, hang on. So up on the left, up on the right here, we've got something that says bullet dodge. And then fall back, bullet dodge, try bullet dodge short left, bullet dodge short right. Retry go start, delay fall, delay something, try bullet dodge long. So do we reckon the bullet dodge thing is going to be like the acrobatic where she sort of like side flips out the way to do a short dodge, and then the long dodge is good when where she like fully dives back like Max Payne, like we saw in the trailer, perhaps. Maybe.
It's Crystal, Flying Wild Hog, or Amazon. They're passionate about the project, and that's a really cool thing to feel as an actor. They want it to be as much of a success as I do.
The thing that really struck me personally with the Hogs is they are very good at being honest about what's on screen.
I really saw like a sympathetic
T-Rex
studio and how they develop and the things that they hold valuable. We saw a lot of ourselves in them.
What's an experienced director, by the way? I just want to put that out there. I don't know what that job title includes.
Hungry, open, want to just get in and get ready to work. Like, that is a recipe for success.
It was always easy to communicate with them, which is funny to say because like they speak Polish, I speak Portuguese. We are talking in English, so none of us are speaking the same language, but somehow like there is that understanding of it. What was important for a Tomb Raider game.
Oh, hello. So this is another Lost Valley area. Trapdoor in the middle. What do we reckon? This is the city of Vilcabamba, and that's the trapdoor. The pool, like the pool in the middle of the room where you can go down and you can find other areas.
They looked at like what we've done prior to them joining. It all felt very natural.
Reimagination is not a goal for us. It's a process. The goal is to create this game once again. And
oh, you saw glass in those glasses? Yeah, I think they used a particular polarizing filter on the lens because like my glasses, depending on the angle, you can see the light in there, but if you were to get a polarizing lens filter on the cap of the lens, you twist it to a certain angle, no matter which way I move, the light won't shine. They use it a lot in production.
In a way that it will generate at least the same amount of emotions as the very first Tomb Raider. That's the goal.
But I also kind of want to recreate what I was also feeling when I played these games. And I remember I was watching that as a little kid, and I was like, wow, I don't know who is she, but she's so cool.
I don't think it will be an open world game. No, definitely not.
Now to have like that, she shaped me and now I get to help shape her, is something that I've taken very seriously the entire time I've worked at Crystal.
I still need to pinch myself sometimes.
I really still can't believe that this is happening.
This is beyond what I've ever imagined.
I want them to play the new Tomb Raider and go, oh my God, this is brilliant. We love it. It's bringing us so much joy and adventure and excitement, you know? It's a respite from the difficulties of the world outside my front door. That's 100%. What I want. I want them to completely fall in love with the franchise.
She fucking gets it.
All over again.
She fucking gets it, man.
Is a love letter to fans.
Love letter to the fans.
Modern era love letter.
A love letter.
A love letter.
I have one wish. I'm not sure I can see it fulfilled, but it's to be in every room as you fire up the game for the first time. I've played the game now for a couple of years straight, and I'm not surprised by anything in it anymore. But I would be so intrigued to see all of the surprise and the look of wonderment on your faces as you play the game. I think that would be my single biggest wish.
Who is Jason Epps? He looks like someone's granddad. You know, he's got a very kind-looking face. I don't recognize the name from before.
So what draws you to Lara's story? Experience.
Bit threatening. Hang on. POV, you've just woken up from a coma and this is what you see staring back at you.
Experience it for yourself and pre-order Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis today.
No, game shit. I'm not going to pre-order it. Bye. Oh no, I'm really looking forward to this, man. This is just making me more and more hype. Right, we have got one. I think we got one more, and this is a video that got recommended to me to watch, where Alex Wilton Regan is being interviewed about this game, and she's reacting to the most iconic moments, I think, from the series. So let's just watch this.
This is
Also, oops, shit.
IGN
I apologize in advance for IGN cringe.
Live, and this year, Tomb Raider celebrates its 30th anniversary. And to mark the occasion, we are getting an all-new, ground-up reimagining of the game that first introduced us to Lara Croft. Here to tell us about what it is like to play the iconic adventurer, the star of Tomb Raider, the Legacy of Atlantis, Alex Wilton Regan.
I'm loving the burgundy, like, wine red gloves, driving gloves that she's got on.
Hi, guys. How are we feeling, IGN? We're feeling good. I love your energy. You're so loud.
Sorry. This dude here, bro, looks stoned right now. He looks... If there was ever a bloke that looked more baked at a party, it would be this guy here. Bro is just straight up fucking vibing.
Keep it up. Keep it up. I love it. I love it. More. They're
He
amazing.
probably isn't,
They're
but...
amazing. All right, so to start, I already kind of said it, but I mean, yes. Congratulations. What an iconic role in an iconic franchise. How has it felt to take over the helm?
I mean, it's amazing. Lara is a British cultural icon. She's a global icon. I'm getting nods from the front row. She's loved. We love our Lara, right? And I love her as much as everyone else, so I'm ecstatic to be here. Really, really thrilled.
Well, so to start...
Wait. What the fuck is that guy? I think we got a contender here. Hang on. Let's just shelve our astute gentleman here for a second. It's like Sujimon that we're collecting at the moment. Look, this dude here, just wow. That is a face. Oh man, what the hell? This guy is having too much of a good time. So much of a good time.
You play Lara not just in Legacy of Atlantis, but you also play her in the upcoming Catalyst, which is, you know, we see a young Laura and we see a more mature Laura. How did
Laura?
It's okay. If
Not fucking Laura.
you want a funny anecdote, we have a swear jar on set for Americans, and every time they say Laura Croft, they have to put $1 in the swear jar.
Yes!
Okay? It's Lara. And I say that with love. Lara. Because it's not a natural name for you guys. So
Lara,
it's like,
Lara. I was so into the question.
Don't worry, babe. Listen,
forgot.
the producers do it. It's not just you. It's not just you.
But so you played two parts of Lara's life. How do you...
There we go.
How does that come out in your performance? How do you differentiate between the two?
You take your scripts and you break them down as much as possible, and you're like, okay, which timeline are we in here? Which timeline are we in here? And you ask your collaborators to help you to kind of keep track of that, because it is tricky. So there's just a lot of, we're trying to do something different with the voice in each game.
I do like the fact that she clapped back and corrected her. Like, some people would just sit back and just, like, say, yeah, no, that's so great to be here. But no, she just full-on corrected them.
Let's see if we do it right. I can't cross my fingers in these little driving gloves. It's like, they're a bit stuck. But they're fabulous, darling.
They're
fabulous.
so fabulous. Well, I want to play a clip of
Fabulous, darling.
the dev team, along with yourself. We asked them to describe Lara in just one word, and then we'll get your reaction afterwards.
Please.
So let's check out that clip.
Wouldn't it be so funny if someone said boobies?
Lara is unstoppable.
Unyielding, unshaken, unwavering, relentless, fear.
We've already seen that.
So I have to ask, what made unapologetic be the word?
Do you know what? It was something me and my girls were talking about around the new year, 2025, going into 2026.
Me and my girl sitting around the patio with a glass of white wine in our hands and talking about the world, setting the world to rights, and we were just discussing over our charcuterie board of cheeses and meats. What word would we describe to describe Lara Croft? And that's when my dear Chrysanthemum, she just belted straight out. What a darling cherub she is.
And a couple of people came up with unapologetic, and I couldn't find my word. And then I had this interview, and I got asked by the guys at Amazon, what is the word for Lara? What is the word for Lara? And on the spot, I just went, unapologetic, and it kind of works. She's so completely confident in herself, her abilities, you know, her brain, her body, her being. She just doesn't question herself. And I think, particularly as women, we spend a lot of time questioning ourselves, right? And she doesn't. And one of the best feedback that we've had about this game and the people who are playing the demo is the men are getting this confidence, this kind of Lara Croft charisma and sheen. It's not just one for the women. It's the girls, it's the guys, it's the gays, it's everyone's loving it. So
100% on the money, because if you know anything about the modern Tomb Raider fan base, you all know that it is predominantly the gays. So I always say, people say that Lara Croft was originally invented for the male gaze, when ironically male gays now make up the majority of her fan base.
So we're just really happy that it's kind of resonating, you know? We're just really happy it's resonating.
Yeah, I mean, she's iconic for a reason.
Yes, she's iconic for a reason.
Well, and the shoes of Lara Croft have already been established.
Yes.
You know, she's been around for 30 years. And with Legacy of Atlantis being a remake of the first Tomb Raider, are there any personal touches that you tried to bring to her performance?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think some of the trailers have dropped already, that we've lifted some of the most iconic lines from Tomb Raider, from the first Tomb Raider. They're going into Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, and just getting to play those lines with that kind of 90s sass brought up to 2026, you know, having gone via someone as iconic and gorgeous and charismatic and diva-esque as Angelina Jolie. There's like a heavy dose of
good reference.
That goddess energy going into there. So there's a lot of lifting from other people's Laras as well.
Yeah, well, we've had a wonderful string of Laras, and I don't doubt that we're going to continue that with you.
Thank you.
But you're no stranger to the world of video game voice acting, but the motion capture for this game in particular seems like it was on another level.
It is.
So can you talk about the experience of doing motion capture for Legacy Atlantis?
Yes, so we've done huge, like 3-week shoots at a time.
Oh, wow.
For Legacy of Atlantis. We have brilliant cast attached that I'm really sorry I can't disclose more about the cast.
Soon.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, 100% calling it now, like everybody else is. It's Sarah Michelle Gellar as Natla.
Right now, soon. But you know, you've all seen Larson's back. You've seen Natla's back. They're all sensational. We all put on the silly black suits to make magic. And you get a bit hot and sweaty and extremely intimate with your co-stars, is what I would say about doing 10 hours on set in a PCAP suit. It's really fun. It's really fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
How do you prepare for that?
You eat 0 hamburgers in the days leading up to your shoot, is point one. I go to the gym a lot, and every morning before I go on set, does anyone know Baldwin Hills? Baldwin Hills?
Yeah.
City, right. Every morning I run up Baldwin Hills, and I run to Baldwin Hills from my hotel, and then I run up those steps. You all know the steps that go up and you reach the top and you're like, I'm gonna die, but you're not gonna die because you're a Tomb Raider, okay? So we're gonna survive. And then we run down Baldwin
A bit cringe, but kind of cute at the same time.
Hills, run back to the hotel, jump in the shower, and you want to arrive like fully prepped and kind of raring to go and just feeling very like in your body, very strong, very confident, some push-ups and sit-ups between takes, lots of screaming, lots of like anger release, spinning the guns between takes, you know, being like, yeah, I'm a badass. Ooh. I do also spend quite a lot of time looking at her little avatar on screen because she is so smoking hot. I think we can all agree on that. So.
The female gaze as well. Ooh.
Well, so speaking of which, we'll get to look at her on screen in a second because we've actually prepared a couple of clips from previous Tomb Raider games. And we were hoping that we could get your gut reaction as we watch them.
Absolutely.
I think this is what Tyranitar wanted me to watch this for.
So feel free to
Also, hi, Tyranitar.
feel free to kind of director's commentary it. So let's check out that first one.
Now, what's a man got to do to get that sort of attention from you?
So I remember doing this scene with the new Larson, who is very, very good, guys. Everyone is going to be thrilled with him.
Lara Croft.
He's outrageously talented.
Jacqueline Nadler.
Natla Technologies.
And our Natler is sensational as well.
My research department has recently turned its focus to the study of
The size of her fingers, you don't notice it until someone points it out, but she has fucking talons.
But look at the evil fingernails. I was just...
Oh, she noticed.
Fingernails coming out, like...
for me.
I'm afraid you've been misled. I
only play for sport. How iconic! I only play for sport.
This is a game you've played before with your father.
That must have been incredible to...
It was incredible. It was incredible to step back on the set and do that scene again. Like, it was wild, you know?
All right, we have another one.
Oh, what are the other one's going to be? Oh, another anniversary one, okay.
Here they come, the Velociraptors. And here she is.
I would have absolutely pissed myself if someone in the production team at IGN had got the footage of Rack Murillo's mod where they replaced the T-Rex with Alara doing T-Rex hands with, like, her mouth open instead. That mod's hysterical if you've not seen it.
So I remember this scene. So when we were doing this again for Atlantis, they
PS2
made all these effort
footage.
noises, right? So they're like, you got to be running like, and then shooting, all these kind of sound effects. So normally you break it down into tiny sections, and you do like this sound effect for this, and I was like, no. Let's just roll the tape, guys. Let's just roll. Let's get it in one, because then it feels organic. It all feels connected. It was a 15-minute take, my friends. It was a 15-minute take. And it was a 15-minute take, and it was wonderful because you get completely into like the moment. You know, you don't want to separate the moment where Lara sees the T-Rex.
I'll put it in the Discord. Someone can.
You want it all to be interconnected and feel organic. So that was a 15-minute take, and most of it has made it into the game.
Okay.
Which is wonderful.
Sounds like a great
Nice.
minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the final clip. Let's check this out.
Oh, another anniversary one.
coming.
Okay.
Yes.
Disappointing that they just went with anniversary, but understandable.
We did this. We've done a lot of this as well. I remember shooting this with the guy that's playing Larson, and I was like, oh my God, he plays dirty.
Now, what was the motion capture like for that flip that we first saw?
That was, so we've done a lot of this stuff. Our fight sequence is slightly different, but it does end with them in a compromising position.
Oh.
I think it's okay
Oh, matron, a compromising position. The scandal.
to say that much. A rather intimate, compromising position between Larson and Lara.
To me, Pierre's probably already found him.
Yes.
Pierre Dupont. Man, she's just...
Oh, and Pierre Dupont. You see how it's Pierre Dupont?
Ooh, the French. She has a good French accent there.
So fun fact, you guys can actually have this as an IGN exclusive. No one has picked up on this yet. So I speak fluent French. So your new Lara also speaks fluent French.
Ooh.
So all of, you know, don't worry, like she's not up there doing whole sentences in French. She's still very much Lara Croft. But for example, when she says Pierre Dupont, she says Pierre Dupont as opposed to Pierre Dupont.
Here, so if I was, well, I guess she's British, but I would say Pierre Dupont.
You would say Pierre Dupont, and old Lara's would have been like Pierre Dupont, but now we're saying...
Or Atelier, or Atelier, or whatever the fuck they want to pronounce it in Survivor games.
Pierre Dupont, because Lara speaks 5 languages fluently. So I said to the team, I was like, use it, it's part of my skill set. You have an actress that speaks fluent French, let's do it, guys, and they agreed. So
that is cool.
All of your words...
There you go.
All of your French words will now be in French. And your Spanish words, when we're in Peru, will be in Spanish. Because I can order a beer in Spain, guys. I can order a beer in Spain, okay?
The British Holy Grail, being able to go to a Spanish country that speaks Span and being able to order a beer in Span.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for
welcome.
being so generous with all these like
No, thank you for having me.
stories.
Right, that is it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, those of you had to decide, I am just going to take a quick pee break, and then we are going to check out some of the rest of the stuff from Summer Games Fest and whatnot. So in the meantime, I'm just going to take this back to the chat, put this music on. We aren't finishing. Sorry about that. I've been muted. Didn't realize that. So yeah, sorry. We've got 45 minutes left to just breeze through some of the greatest hits of that particular evening. So I'm going to just shout a couple of trailers, and then we're going to move on to the Final Fantasy stuff to finish with, and that'll be it. But one thing I wasn't expecting to see is a new Spyro the Dragon game released in this decade. Holy shit. Thank you. No, I just realized. My bad. So goddamn cool. We get like a new Spyro, and it's also the original Reignited Trilogy style Spyro as well. Snippet of gameplay. Yeah, so more flying by the looks of it this time around. Still kind of gliding, because apparently they said that those fires that you light with your flames use an updraft to basically boost you higher up, so you can't fully fly around, I don't think. But that might be something that they'll elaborate later. But Toys for Bob are back. Toys for Bob have been freed from the Activision Call of Duty dungeon and can actually work on games they want to make again, which is crazy cool. We also got a trailer for Resident Evil Code Veronica remake that dropped. That was the first thing that they dropped at Summer Games Fest, so it started off really strong. And then later on, we got other ones from the Xbox showcase, as well as a new story DLC trailer for Doom: The Dark Ages, which I've not actually seen all the way through.
By your acts of defiance, Argent and Warr trembles in the wake of your actions. They follow you now.
The Council has chosen. Beneath this chamber will be your tomb. This place is your pain given shape. It holds many secrets. Only a cleansed soul may leave. I am not your enemy. I am your way out.
Dirty music, man. Dirty sounding metal music.
With the Slayer gone, have you not found peace? The demons, they have retreated. Their war is with him.
Oh, no worries, Dragon Fairy. Yeah, so I will pause on this because I have seen this once, but it looks like they're bringing the secret classic levels back that they had in the last couple of Dooms. But this is interesting because this is a full original single shotgun from Doom 2.
The Slayer is alive, and we're going to.
And it's not the only time it shows up either, like here. Like, this is obviously modern day somewhere, in some city. So, what does this mean? With all the stuff that's on it. Like, are we gonna find out stuff to do with his past? That sort of thing. And also the second game at Summer Games Fest that had the tagline Revelation. Very excited for that. That's cool. The fact that they're revealing more of the Doomslayer's past, though, I don't know whether or not it's a good idea to sort of demystify him a bit too much, or whether or not they'll strike a good balance. But fucking yeah, man. Oh, was it IDKFA on the shotgun? That's cool. Right, and this one, Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi's back, everybody. Oh, no worries, Danny. See you in a bit. And that's about as much as I can play. But the fact that it's actually got Offspring playing as well with everything is interesting. But yeah, a world tour story-ish driven Crazy Taxi game. It's just good to have a Crazy Taxi game back in 2026. I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming out next year, I think. Or is it later this year? Yeah, and it's got the Offspring music as well, which I had to mute for obvious reasons. Crazy Taxi World Tour next year. It says Series X on PC, but it's also coming to PS5 and Switch as well, I believe. So it's not just those platforms. Right. Let's boost it back up again. Thank you. So the Nintendo Direct wasn't great in my book. It had a very mid feel throughout the whole thing with what it was announced, but then it decided to ramp up in a very, very big way. And I think if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts, you'll know exactly why that way was.
この世界の構造はとても複雑で、私たちが定義する光と闇を具現化したものは存在しなかった。でもそれを定義するものがこの世界に来たことで、この世界にも私たちの定義する闇が現れた。
Sorry. I had to dip myself out so you could see the subtitles. But yes, they remembered it exists for some reason, and somehow they've been able to work on this alongside the remake trilogy. But yeah, just to quickly address the stuff that was mentioned to do with AI with Crazy Taxi was confirmed to be just a temporary stopgap. That was the stuff that they generated with AI was then supplemented and replaced with human made stuff. So it was literally just a stepping stone until to allow other art to be created. From what I've understood, it's not like they're using it predominantly to make all the stuff that's in Crazy Taxi, which would suck. How many Kingdom Hearts games are there? There's a few, but main entry titles, this fourth one's been in the pipeline for a while, but for it to be shadow dropped in a Nintendo Direct of all things is crazy. So there's that. And then there was this. The leaks were true, everybody.
Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity. At the very edge of this kingdom, there lay a small forest. Within it An ancient solitary tree quietly watched over the inhabitants of the forest. These forest dwellers were called the Kokiri. Each had a fairy companion, and they lived out their innocent lives in these woods. However, there was one particular boy who did not have a fairy.
I'm so very excited for this. And the fact it's coming out this year is just insane. So we've got a Star Fox 64 remake happening this month. And this year we're getting a Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. And if you haven't played Ocarina of Time, I do highly recommend it. Even the original version still holds up in my book. It's certainly one of the better paced story games of the series, I think. It might be nostalgia talking, but I personally would recommend Ocarina of Time still. But finally, we will look at the thing I was possibly the most excited for throughout this entire thing. And that would have been the Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff, because I am a massive, massive fan of Final Fantasy VII and the other Final Fantasy games too. And I've been waiting to see what they would drop for this game, for the third part of the series where it ends it all. And my God, I was not disappointed.
Long ago, a shadow fell upon our planet. Guided by calamity, one man sought dominion through reunion. By his will, a star fell. A meteor called forth to bring ruin to all. But our planet answered, awakening mighty weapons to stand against the celestial threat.
Have you played Final Fantasy VII before, Mo? Because I can spoil it for you if you want. I can tell you.
Now, hope endures in those who fight.
Long story short, the world's in trouble. It has been for a while.
So what are we waiting for? Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime.
This looks so good, man.
You're mine.
Wu-Tai, Medeal, Vincent, Sid gameplay.
Good night.
The sky's the limit!
I can do this. I'll make you proud.
Just ain't your day.
Oh my, is that a weapon I see?
Baby weapon!
As far as I can tell, these things don't distinguish between friend and foe.
Save the planet by killing her protectors.
Ruby weapon, oh my God. Fighting that thing's gonna be an absolute bastard.
Let us put your faith to the test, Cloud.
Title drop. So we didn't know until this point what the actual third game was going to be called.
Never would have made it this far without you guys.
My money was on Return.
And I won't let you down. I promise.
At last, the promise is fulfilled.
Yeah, so to answer Mo's question, the reason why Sephiroth has like cat eyes is because he's not entirely human. He's got cells of some kind of alien entity in him, just to kind of oversimplify the story a little bit. But my God, there's a lot that went on in this. So for any Final Fantasy VII fans, I'm just going to quickly go through this. Starting with the Edge of Creation here, which is something that we still don't know what the fuck this is. And this, from an original player's perspective, is not something that was in the original. So there's a lot of stuff I'll be like, that was in the original, that's not in the original. And what they've been doing with the remake trilogy is the fact that not everyone's been really too sure as to whether or not it's been a sequel, like a secret sequel to the original series or not, or whether or not it is supposed to be like an actual remake just with embellishments. But I think I'm personally in the camp that this is a sequel to the original like line of like stories to do with FF7.
Go. A shadow.
Ruby weapon is the strongest weapon. One of. There are two. He was one of the super bosses that you could fight. One of three super bosses. One is Ultimate Weapon, where you get Cloud's best weapon. He's the easiest. Two is Emerald Weapon, which is for underwater, which you have to use a submarine to get to. And then you've got Ruby Weapon, which is the third one. And he's for in the Corel Desert, and he's an absolute bastard.
Fell upon our planet. Guided by calamity, one man sought dominion through...
Just like the deity, the Christianic imagery here by having him like deified is interesting, especially now. I'm wondering what... I might be talking over people like a lot in terms of like what they understand, but for people who have like been on this journey like the same as I have, I'm wondering whether or not at the point that this third game starts, it will be where Cloud gives Sephiroth the black materia, and then Sephiroth just basically ascends with all of his like remnants just trying to chase after him.
By his will, a star fell.
Hello, Alidar.
Called forth to bring ruin to all.
Yes, because there's lots of speculation as to where Part 3 would start, and the interesting point of where Rebirth ended, which was the last one, you have access to a vehicle or a mode of transportation that you normally shouldn't have, because it's normally destroyed or shelved by that point. So the fact that you're flying off to the northern continent means that I wouldn't be surprised if you start this particular game right outside.
But our planet answered.
Where this part takes place, and it's a pretty pivotal part, because if they did do that, you'd be skipping over like quite a big chunk of story that happened in the original. So it's quite clear by the way that they've kind of done things in this particular trailer is that they're going to be moving some stuff around, because they've also said the Highwind, which is the airship that you see in this trailer, isn't something that you normally get so quickly, but they say it roughly takes about 5 to 6 hours to get access to the Highwind.
Weapons to stand against this celestial threat. Now,
if I remember correctly, the most recent version of New Threat has Sapphire Weapon, and I think this game's going to have it too. So this is the Northern Crater, where normally to get to this point in the original FF7, when you get to the Northern Continent, you go through Bone Village, you go to the City of the Ancients, where the thing with Aerith happens, and then after, beyond that point, you then go further up north to the Icicle Inn, where you learn about Aerith's mother and Professor Gast, and then you do snowboarding, and then you do some rock climbing, and then you essentially go from that to this point. And this point here is a very pivotal moment in the story, because this is where Cloud basically becomes like the most brainwashed, and he ends up handing the black materia over to Sephiroth. And Sephiroth, although you've been seeing him throughout the story in physical form, his actual body is crystallized within the live stream, within the Mako at this point. And to further illustrate why that definitely would be, is you got all these little remnants that are kind of like following him to this point. The hooded cronies that have all got Genova cells, the same as Sephiroth. Yeah, no, Bone Village has been cut, unfortunately, which I'm fine with. It wasn't that big of a part of my enjoyment of Final Fantasy VII, if I'm honest, but...
Hope.
But it's interesting how in this party shot in both angles, like, Vincent should be with you at this point. He's not here.
Endures in those who fight.
And I don't know why.
Long story short, world's in...
But yeah, the map looks massive, so... So from that point onwards, when Sephiroth gets the black materia at this point, he summons a thing called Meteor, which comes down to the sky to basically just destroy the Earth, essentially. All part of his big evil master plan. Again, I'm oversimplifying things for people who might not necessarily have played all of it. But this is the point where we've now got the airship about 5 to 6 hours in, which is interesting. But this is the size of the world map, and you get to fly around half of the world map at the beginning, with access to more towards the end. if I'm not mistaken. Is what I've seen being said in the interviews. Yeah, man, it looks fucking huge. I don't know. I don't know how scaling's going to work because the airship's so massive. I wonder how they're going to make the transition to the overworld flying to when you actually parachute off like bloody Fortnite to go and basically land where you want to land.
Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime.
She takes an extended holiday is the best way of putting it, yes. Or does she? Fucking hell, man. So that's the grasslands from Rebirth. That's like the first major area of the game that you get to explore in the second game, the one that's just been passed. And to the left, you've got the Chocobo Farm here. I can't remember what that is. I think that's just like an outpost, like a set of ruins. But over to the left here, you've got a big major town that you start off. It's Calm. But the idea is that you can basically now jump out of this plane and just land anywhere on this map down here, and you can just explore it, which is fan-fucking-tastic. This is apparently Medeal. You get to control other party members this time around. Normally, you'd only be able to walk around as Cloud, but by the looks of it, you'd be able to walk around as Tifa and like Red 13 and Yuffie at various different points. But this is Medeal, and Medeal is very important because this is where you lose Cloud as a party member after that point onwards at the Northern Crater, and you spend like a good chunk of the game on the second disc, or is it third disc that you do this? I think it's second disc in the original PlayStation version, trying to find where he is, and he ends up washing up in this island called Medeal, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's comatose, and yeah, for reasons. This is Wutai. This is basically like FF7's stand-in for China, and this is nothing, well, I would say it's not nothing like anything we've seen, but it's a hugely upscaled version of what we've had before in the original. But Norsk, I don't know if you noticed up there on the left, that's the D'Chao statue. And for anyone who's like a fan of the original FF7, that's where a moment in the story happens where Yuffie and Elena of the Turks get kidnapped, and you run into Don Corneo again, and you have a boss fight up there on his hand. So that's cool. I really hope you get a chance to sort of go back up there again. Vincent Valentine. It was always in my party, Vincent Valentine, Sid Highwind, and Cloud in the final game. Apparently Galleon Beast, which was the limit break, there's monster forms that he could transform into. I'm hoping there are more. But he can now transform into them at a button press rather than having to wait for a limit gauge. So that's interesting. For sure.
Good night.
The sky's the limit.
And the fact that Sid's got fucking... it looks like Leviathan or some kind of, like, dragon, water dragon element to his attacks. It's pretty fucking cool. And these new costumes, this is new. So what they've done with this particular game, apparently, is they've not really iterated much upon the core mechanics of what they built in Rebirth for the combat. But instead what they've done is they added this system where you can essentially switch jobs and job classes between characters. So that comes in the form of different costumes, and I have read that apparently these costumes are just cosmetic as well. You can chop and change them between classes, so you don't have to be forced to wear a certain outfit that you don't like if you just want the stat bonuses like a black mage or a white mage or something.
I'll make you proud.
There's an Uchu. Final Fantasy veterans will be well versed with this particular monster. I know nothing about Final Fantasy games, but this looks very interesting. I'm hoping that people who are like, there are some crossover of people who like Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider in my chat, but obviously people who might not necessarily have dipped their toes into these types of waters before, I hope like it's something that they can take away as something they might be interested in playing at some point.
Just ain't your day.
And a big thing about the latter part of Final Fantasy VII are these things called weapons, big old kaiju monsters that sort of roam the map that you can fight. And these particular ones here, these are new. These aren't in the original games. Sorry.
As far as I can tell.
But just look at it, man. Like, you're just going to be able to just run up to this thing and just punch it in the shins or something. You have obviously got artillery backup from behind you with what looks like those laser sights there from cannons, but my god, this looks awesome in terms of scale.
Between friend and foe.
Save the planet by killing her.
Yeah.
Protectors.
Yeah, and that's Ruby Weapon. So Ruby Weapon shows up in the Corel Desert, and I'm thinking, they say that a lot of the landscape that you're would have been used to traveling around in Rebirth has been changed due to what they say seismic activity. So when the Earth crumbles open and awakens these big beings, it just kind of fucks with everything.
Let us put your...
And also, just to kind of reconfirm, Sephiroth has indeed got a new English voice actor this time around. The Tyler, I think his name was the guy who did it originally for the last two games. They have got another dude who I can't remember the name of, but he was basically just like an NPC. He's a prolific voice actor in a lot of different things, and I think he voiced I think it was Xemnas in Kingdom Hearts 2. What? Kingdom Hearts 8. Okay.
Faith to the test. Cloud.
But what's interesting about this particular shot, and this won't mean a thing to anyone outside, maybe me and Norsk here, is he's holding the white materia, am I correct? That's not the black materia. And these type of like static imagery and like effects heavy grainy bits of like footage that you normally see are kind of like indicative of like Cloud's distorted perspective of what's reality, is to sort of put it in layman's terms and non-Final Fantasy VII players what this actually means. So I'm kind of like, I'm wondering whether or not he's giving Sephiroth the black materia in his mind because he's so fucked up, as him giving the white materia to Sephiroth instead to save the planet and not destroy it. I wonder if that's what that is. But yeah. And then Revelation title drop. And then we get a whole bunch more.
Long story short.
This part here, by the way, where he's talking to the flowers, with all the whispers and stuff that are floating around this part, this is definitely where Rebirth ended, and this is, I'm thinking, post clarity, I'll put it. when Cloud has his moment of clarity and remembers who he really is, so to speak. This is obviously after that point, full party, he revisits the place where that took place, that moment with Aerith took place. Because you can tell by all the whispers and stuff, and all the architecture looks the same, and that looks like the altar where it went down.
World's in trouble.
So what are we waiting for?
So materia is essentially, for anyone who hasn't played Final Fantasy VII, is what this game's magic system does. They're little orbs that basically have like a part of the planet inside of it where it sort of has like an attribute like magic, a status ailment, a summon, or any kind of ability tied to it. And they're all different colors. You've got red, blue, yellow, green, and I'm forgetting one, purple as well. And they all do different types of functions. The red ones are summons, the blue ones are kind of like augmenting abilities, the yellow ones are actual abilities, the green ones are magic, and the purple ones are like stat boosts, basically. They were in the original games. They probably are a little bit different in the remake trilogy. The white materia and the black materia, they're very plot-heavy things. The black materia is essentially a materia that was created by... we find out in this game is the race called the Gi, out of malice and wanting to basically end their existence because they didn't come from this planet, so they can't return to it when they die, so they're kind of just in a state of limbo. So they just kind of exist. So they created the black materia to basically try and fix that problem. The problem is, when you use the black materia and have it, Sephiroth basically wants to use that to destroy the planet and gain access to the full power of the planet's inner workings, the life stream. And the white materia is supposed to basically counteract that. But nobody really knows what it does and how it activates. So that's that. So that's why it's significant when you see Sephiroth holding the white materia, because we very much know that the white materia is lost. And nowhere that Cloud or anyone else like Sephiroth would have been able to have easily found it. So that's why I'm thinking it's a trick.
Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime.
Hope that explains things.
As we reunite with our heroes, the meteor looms in the skies above, a constant reminder of your mission and the grave threats you'll confront as you embark upon your journey and face.
This guy, the true villain of Final Fantasy VII, he's an absolute sick bastard. He's responsible for basically everything bad that has happened to each character, each major character in this particular series.
It's the epic conclusion of the remake series.
Yeah, so this moment here, this is the moment where Cloud basically, he's full of the same shit that Sephiroth is, and they're both kind of like intrinsically tied together, is the kind of layman's way of me putting it.
Front as you embark upon your journey and face the epic conclusion.
There's a moment where Cloud basically gets fully controlled out of his own free will and hands over something important. That something important being the black materia. So this is the moment where I'm thinking this is going to be the pivotal moment where the crew take off in the high wind and Cloud gets left behind.
The remake series.
And that's where the game picks up.
Your very own airship and the pride of the Shinra fleet.
I also love the fact that they actually kept the original graffiti artwork on the side of the Highwind airship as well. I fucking love that.
Take to the skies and
same janky ass pointy font and everything like the original.
This our most expansive open world yet.
I think Genesis will show up, but as a side boss, like a secret boss. I wouldn't be surprised, like Vice and Nero did.
From the outskirts of Midgar to the sun-drenched Medeal Archipelago to the warrior nation of Wutai.
Just looks way bigger than it was before. It's so cool.
Simply
can't wait.
Direction and set sail. But how can you be?
Oh yeah, Matt Mercer, he wanted to be Vincent Valentine, and it's really sweet how they broke the news to him, and I really highly suggest watching the video because it's really funny.
Expected to protect the whole world at once. You'll need to cover ground fast.
I am not jumping. No way, no how.
Don't worry. These parachutes are top of the line. Pull the cord and pop. You'll be floating through the air like a feather.
No worries, Mark. See you in a bit.
Any moment in the open world, simply pilot the Highwind to your destination and take a leap of faith. With the wind rushing past, you'll descend seamlessly from the sky above to the ground below. Where will the winds guide you first? That freedom is in your hand.
Medeal is also fucking huge compared to what it was in the original as well, because Medeal was basically just an island with like 1 or 2 screens worth of town, and then that's it. And then it gets destroyed. This looks like a full-on, like, expanded entity over there.
The winds guide you first. That freedom is in your hands.
Happy Turtle.
No matter your destination, to defeat your enemy, you'll need a fighting chance. And that starts with your trusted allies. At long last, with the world teetering on a blade's edge, everyone assembles at Cloud's side, forming an epic ensemble
No
of
worries,
heroes.
Quebec, see you in a bit.
Each with their own story that brings you closer together than ever. But a good unit needs more than friendship to save the day. It needs a disciplined combat regiment. The hybrid battle system, established in Remake and
just putting it out there, the battle system in these games, like, Remake was good, but Rebirth was like where it was at. It was so good.
Find and Rebirth is perfected in Revelation, putting even more power in your hands. In fluid, real-time action, seamlessly switch between party members to even the odds.
Remind me, what was that the original deal? It was just the doctors where you find Cloud basically and leave Tifa for a bit, and then you fight Ultima Weapon, and then the live stream erupts, and then they drop into the live stream, and then they have that moment. But I don't think it's going to happen the same way.
Then, when the fight calls
this time
for
around.
strategy, enter tactical mode to unleash a suite of powerful new spells and abilities. Activate devastating synergies with your companions.
I do like the fact, by the way, this is going to mean more to me and Norsk and other people who have played Rebirth than anyone else. The fact that you can actually use all summons that you have as one party member. You don't have to actually fucking just switch to that party member to use their summon.
And of course...
And they both look like they have like additional augmented abilities too.
Mighty summoned entities that can turn the tide of battle.
Time for Vincent aura farming now.
I won't return to my coffin until we've put Sephiroth in his.
Vincent is a deft gunslinger, capable of delivering precise
Bits of Dirge of Cerberus making their way in.
high-yield shots. But there's more to this secretive former Turk than meets the eye. The result of experimentation at the hands of Shinra. Vincent can transform into the galleon beast at the press of a button, gaining tremendous power while transformed. And
can't wait.
with the skills of a certain ace pilot, their high-impact synergies disrupt the fight with ferocious results.
Oh no, it's Gascoigne.
The dashing
See you in a bit.
dragoon, the one and only Sid Highwind.
Sid
Hot damn.
Highwind, the cantankerous pilot extraordinaire, joins the party and their mission to defeat Sephiroth. Sid's command of his lance allows him to rapidly
And also, this is all still running on Unreal Engine 4, not 5 as well.
close the distance for powerful strikes, or engage in sweeping area of effect attacks to bring a whole host of enemies
Not just Bahamut 3, Neo, whatever it is, or Bahamut 0, I think it's the third one, but Knights of the Round too.
to heal. But to fully control the battlefield, skill with a weapon only gets you so far. To further augment your combat capabilities, try this on for size. Function Integrated Tactical Suitwear, or the FIT system for short, allows you to further customize
Just putting it out there, I'm definitely going to be changing Barrett's outfit.
your playstyle with new uniforms imbued with unique movesets. Alongside your equipment and materia, FITS gives you an extra edge in battle. And to face what's coming, you'll need all the strength you can muster. Stay your day. Sensing its fate hanging in the balance, the planet itself has unleashed its last line of defense. The weapons.
Yeah, I think the Summoner Kate Sith cosplay is really cute. It's got the Ico horn from 9.
Ancient beasts that are larger than life and capable of untold destruction. Will you be enough to stop
Eco.
them before it's too late?
However it's
As
pronounced.
the world is torn apart, you and your friends must unite. In Revelation, we come to the
Marshmallow
thrilling
Wallace.
conclusion of the Final Fantasy VII saga, and your mission is clear. Take
Slap fight is also confirmed to be a thing still.
up your Buster Sword, equip your materia, and stand
Don't know where this is supposed to be taking place. This definitely looks like parachutes dropped in the background there.
together.
Oh, and Genova. Headless Genova. So I think people are saying that this might be Genova Death.
One last time.
Chocobos, by the way, it's not too sure whether or not there's actually going to be any chocobo breeding at all in this game, but this is the only chocobo that you get, and it's called it's Pico from Rebirth, and you level it up to have this like all the different abilities of the other chocobos from the different regions this time around, from what I've read. Yeah, man, it just looks so fucking cool. I could go on about this for hours, but I am unfortunately out of time. So I'm going to leave it to you lovely people to discover all the rest of nuggets of information about this that you can yourselves. Let me just take it back there to the chat. Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's been really cool to be able to sort of pick apart all the stuff that we've found out about Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and also all the other stuff too. It's just exciting times, really, to be into these series, and I'm hoping that there are going to be more exciting announcements soon too to come, because it just seems to be like hit after hit after hit after hit with announcements from like Xbox, from PlayStation, from Square, from like everybody seems to be firing more or less on all cylinders this time around. Next stream's happening on Thursday though. We're going to be picking up more Shadow of the Tomb Raider first time playthrough, so I hope you join me for that. In the meantime, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you have a rest of your fantastic day and the rest of your week up until then, and I'll see you on Thursday at 7 o'clock UK time. So until then, take care now. Bye bye then.